What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of New Parents in Training. So on the previous video we did a unboxing of 3 different kind of hair clipper for kids, and we end up choosing the Meetcare. If you haven't seen the unboxing video, I'll link it up top so you can go check it out. So today we're gonna cut his hair. His hair is obviously really long, and we're gonna put him on a high chair. Now, the Meetcare does come with a apron, but our kid doesn't really like it all that much. He kind of refused for us to put it on. So we're not gonna use the apron that was provided. However, I just want to point out that he is kind of scared with things that vibrate. So right now I haven't turned it on, so he's okay. So what we're gonna do is to have things toys in front of him to kind of distract him, and hopefully that will work. And I have my wife here to help me as well. So anyway, since the hair is gonna fall off on the ground, we can just vacuum at the end. And the clipper we're gonna do is just start from the high number and move on downward. So depending on your baby's hair and the type of style that you want, then you can choose whichever clipper that is more suitable. But for us, this is our first time. I'm just gonna start with a 9mm on the side and maybe 12mm on the top, just to start off and see how things go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. Here are some of the clips of us cutting his hair. Now, initially I did his back and the side. He was screaming and kicking a lot. It was a hassle. So our baby has issue with motor vibrating, so especially the small appliance. Now with big machines, he has no problem, like AC unit or cars. So when we got the razor, we were hoping that the least noise it can make, he might not notice. But yeah, initially it was really bad when I was starting cutting his hair. Like we tried to use cars, toys to kind of distract him, but it didn't really work that well. Then my wife suggests maybe we should just turn on the music, and that's what we end up doing. So as you can see later on, he's much calmer. At least he's not crying on the video. Anyway, so we did turn on music. So apparently music with very heavy bass, it will drown out the noise the clipper will make. So we couldn't even hear the clipper noise anymore. All we can hear is just the music itself. So by then, the baby was calm enough for us to cut his hair. One thing to keep in mind when you're cutting the baby hair is to keep the baby inside a high chair. If you can get help, get a second hand to help you with that, that will be even better. The clipper itself, just be mindful that every now and then you should clear the hair off the clipper, so then it will run a lot smoother. And just make sure you go slow. If you go too fast, it might yank the hair. And also, we only use one size. I believe it was the 9mm cone. All right, let me show you guys how to maintain the hair clipper itself. So after finish, you can see there are a lot of hair stuck in the blade. So they provide you with a little brush. What you need to do is brush it off first, like so. You can remove this. So once that's done, and now let's do the actual clipper. So what you do is you try to get as much hair you can out. Okay, so now that most of the hairs have been brushed off, what you do is you push against the top portion of the blade from the front. This will push the clipper out of the body. As you can see, it's pretty dirty inside as well. So brush as much as you can. This is washable, so just keep that in mind. Later on, we are going to run it through water, but you want to just get most of the long hair out first. You brush and then you run it through water. Now mind you, the clipper stick came pre-looped, so there are some oil here, which you're going to do that later after this has been dried or washed. They do provide you with a lubricant. You do need to apply this onto the blade. And now just running through the water. Now, even though this clipper is washable, I would not suggest you to go anywhere near the plug where the power cord goes. So yeah, I just ran it through the water. So this you probably had to rinse on just on the side, and there's a little gap in between. Alright, now that it's being finished washing, I'll just leave it here overnight so that it will completely dry. According to the instruction, you could just wipe it down with a towel, but normally with my own clipper, I will let it sit and dry completely on itself for over 24 hours. So that way I know for sure the water is out. And then after that, we'll come back and lubricate the blade. Alright, so now that is the next day, everything is bone dry. Just need to make sure that the clipper itself is dry, no more debris. Yeah. Well, this you don't have to lubricate, so it doesn't really matter. Once it's dry, you can just put it away. Now they do provide you with this little oil. You just want to do a couple drop here on the edge and on the center, and dab a little bit on this side as well. FYI, when you got this bottle, when it's brand new, the tip is not a puncher. You have to punch a hole in order for the oil to come out. So now just dab a little bit. Okay, so I did here, here, and here. So the two edges center, and also a little bit over here where the metal is showing. So yeah. Once you have done that, what you do now is to place back into the clipper and push it in. And now you just turn it on to kind of let the oil run through the blade itself. So yeah, just turn it on for like a couple seconds. And this is it. That's how you clean and maintain the Meetcare clipper.